Tonight in Cameroon, a decades-long leader has been declared winner of yet another election, but the streets have erupted. Protesters say the vote was stolen. Lives have been lost. What happens now to the families, the youth, the health systems, and especially to women and girls whose lives already hang by a thread? This video takes you inside the full story, the results, the controversy, the protests, and what it means for every citizen. Stay with me to the end, because we'll also look at how this political shock wave is hitting health, fertility and women's rights in Cameroon. Section 1. The election results. On the 12th of October 2025, Cameroon held a presidential election. The official body, the Constitutional Council of Cameroon, declared incumbent President Paul Biya, age 92, as winner with 53.66% of the vote. His main challenger, Issa Chiroma Bakary, was officially credited with approximately 35.19%. Biya has ruled Cameroon since 1982, over 40 years of uninterrupted power. Before the official results, Chiroma declared himself the winner, based on his internal tally of polling station results. The opposition pointed to major irregularities: inflated turnout figures in regions controlled by separatists, deceased names on voter rolls, unequal ballot distribution, ballot box stuffing in some constituencies. Many citizens voiced frustration. One resident said, "This government has brought us nothing. Nothing at all. Why so contentious? A single round system. The candidate with the most votes wins." Some analysts say structural advantages in the regime's control of state institutions give Biya a strong edge. The context: Cameroon is battling an Anglophone separatist crisis in two regions, northwest and southwest, which complicates electoral administration and trust in the system. Generational divide. Over 70% of Cameroonians are under 35, yet have known no other president than Biya. This heightens frustration. Section 2. What's happening on the ground? Protests erupt. Immediately after the election and especially after the result announcement, protests broke out in major cities: the economic capital Douala, the northern city Garoua, in the capital Yaoundé, and other regions. Protesters blocked roads, burned tires, chanted slogans against what they call a stolen poll, especially in Douala. Violence and crackdown. Security forces deployed widely. Tear gas, water cannons, and in at least some instances, live fire were used. At least 4 to 6 people killed, opposition sources, and hundreds arrested across the country. For example, in Douala's New Bell neighborhood, local sources say 4 people died during clashes. Shops and schools closed in protest hotspots. Many citizens fear escalation of violence. Airports reportedly still operating, but travel to, from cities like Douala may be constrained. Social media posts show anxiety and disruption. Section 3. Big questions and what's next. Legitimacy and international reaction. The European Union, UN and human rights NGOs expressed concern about the use of force and lack of transparency in the vote. Meanwhile, the African Union Observer Mission declared the poll largely in line with international norms, though noting logistical issues. What happens now politically? Biya is expected to be sworn in within the next 15 days according to law. The opposition refuses to accept the outcome. The streets remain volatile. Some analysts believe this could mark the beginning of sustained unrest, unless dialogue is initiated. Key unanswered questions: will security forces escalate? Will the regime survive challengers from within? Will the youth surge force change? For citizens, what's at stake? Political change. Many voters feel that long-term misgovernance, corruption, economic stagnation and youth unemployment have been ignored. Stability versus crisis. If protests escalate, the risk of wider conflict or breakdown of order increases. Health and reproduction dimension. Political instability often leads to reduced access to healthcare, interruptions in services, increased risk for women and children, and mental health burdens. Section 4. Why this matters for women, fertility and reproductive health. In states of unrest, resources often shift toward security and away from public health. That means maternal health, contraception access, fertility clinics, and women's mental health services may be neglected. Protests and violence also raise risks of gender-based violence, increased unplanned pregnancies, and disruptions in donor-funded programs. Young women, already disempowered by lack of economic opportunity, may feel the impact hardest. This election, this unrest, sends a message about whose voices count, and when women are sidelined politically, their health outcomes often deteriorate. For example, if roads are blocked, clinics are shut, curfews imposed, pregnant women may struggle to reach care, adolescents may lose access to reproductive health info, and health workers may be unable to reach communities. Section 5. What should viewers do? What you can do. So as you watch this, here's what you can do. Stay informed, follow credible sources, verify claims. If you're a Cameroonian abroad or in diaspora, use your voice, raise awareness, support humanitarian health organizations working on the ground. For women and young people, keep track of how this political moment affects your rights, your health services, and demand accountability. Encourage peaceful dialogue and urge for transparent investigations into the election and post-election violence. Cameroon stands at a crossroads. On one side, continuity, a long-standing leader, familiar patterns. On the other, youth hunger for change, protests in the streets, and a health system already under strain. The 2025 election may not just be about who sits in the presidential palace, it may mark the start of something deeper. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below. What do you think will happen in Cameroon next? Will the protests fade, or turn into something bigger? And if you're on the ground or know someone there, send footage, insight, voice notes. We'll link contact details in the description. Our voices matter. Let's keep watching this story together.